Hi everyone, it's Sean from SDK Markets here today. We've got Zach Turschwell, who's obviously works with Mike Hudson at Southern Cross Gold. Southern Cross Gold is a multi-billion market cap now. We've seen the success that Mike and his team, which Zach was part of, discovering this system, which just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And it feels like deja vu. Here we are again. Zach, you've migrated over to Peru and you've got that Midas touch just like Mike. This system that you've got in Peru is just gotten massive. Congratulations on these results. We'll talk to them in a minute. But this is arguably, Southern Cross is arguably one of the best discoveries in terms of high grade location and all of that and its advancement in the market. And it looks like here we are again with Peru. This is just a huge discovery. I mean, the amount of times you put in the soil samples and the trench into the labs and kept getting the ding, 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 ding ring that you've got gold there, it's just astounding, mate. That the hit rate of Southern Cross, which has made it special, I think the hit rate here is almost better. So, Zach, what have you got? And let's talk about it, mate. It is congratulations. It's bloody good news.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sean. I appreciate that. And it is remarkable, like you say, that hit rate, where at this early stage exploration project that we are just getting these incredible results. Like the last two or three releases, we've reported that every channel sample was coming back mineralized. And we had a bit of a stroke of genius in returning to our central high grade area over the last few months. So returning to the Previsto central high grade zone where we reported that 135-meter channel late 2024. Came back to that area to further understand the shape of the mineralization and the tenor, and we're learning a lot and we're seeing a lot of good numbers. So we're very excited over here.
What we saw at Southern Cross, we had a small footprint where we were drilling and we've just expanded that. We've only done 1.5 Ks or something at the moment of the 10K trend. You've got you have a 5 kilometre square piece of dirt where you've had great discoveries, and what have you quadrupled the actual footprint? This thing's massive. Like we are, Mike always said when we first invested in this last year, when we came in, it's a little bit weak at the moment because of the markets and whatnot. Gold's pulled back and there's a bit of unrest out there, but it's not due to the announcements from the company. This has just expanded exponentially, hasn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And like you'll hear Mike and I both say, big systems have big footprints. And that's the case at Previsto as well as at Sunday Creek. So 2 months ago, we reported that we doubled our strike length at Previsto, our strike length potential. So that was work from a remote study. So looking at highly detailed LiDAR data, we're able to see the similar textural footprint that we see at our known high grade area. We see that extend for another 7 kilometers to the north along strike. Now that whole strike potential top to bottom is about 13 kilometers, which is just remarkable. In that northern area, the new prospective area, we've got a little bit of early data that is absolutely anomalous. But I'm sending some teams out this month actually to do some recon work, take some more soil samples, take some boulder samples and outcrop samples in the creeks, and see what we can find. So watch this space.
So more news flow to come, and you've got the permits there progressing, so you can actually drill this thing out. But the footprint where you're getting grades up to 7.5 grams, and that's high grade. We're not talking the bottom end of the spectrum here. We're talking very good quality because we've got to imagine Southern Cross. We're looking at 10 gram dirt on the exploration target, so it's not far off the pace there with some of the grades we're seeing. It's a different type of system. There are two types of systems here. Can you just go through how the mineralization works and why you're confident it's going to be there? And are there any comparables we can put it up against when we're in this elephant country talking millions and millions of ounces potentially?
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, like you say, Sunday Creek and Previsto are two very different gold systems. So Previsto, we have an alkaline epithermal system. It's related to these alkaline intrusive rocks. It's just the geochemical nature of those intrusive porphyry rocks. And we know that it's alkaline because of the certain types of minerals that we see on the surface. For example, roscolite and adularia, they're two diagnostic minerals for these kinds of systems. And that gets us really excited because we can find analogues around the world, and a couple of major ones that are quite comparable are Cripple Creek in Colorado and Porgera in Papua New Guinea. Both of those deposits have very similar footprints to what we see at Previsto. So they're large systems. Their gold anomalism is over kilometres of scale, as well as the same mineralogy at surface, same type of mineralization too. So we've got gold, silver coming in with tellurides as well, which is what we have at Previsto, and similar structural controls too. So you'll see a large sea of gold with discrete zones of high grade within that large footprint. All of these things together indicate that Previsto at this very early stage has the potential to be super significant.
I know it's the Incas. When I grew up, I used to watch King Solomon's and different movies when they were going searching for gold, which is how you quite look when you're out foraging in the jungle. Not foraging, but there you are. You
Yeah,
understand what I mean. Like, how do we know we just haven't had a river go through this and just dump gold at the top? Are we confident that it is going to be deep? Well, not too deep, or however deep these systems go. How do we know it's just not washed through and just left gold there?
sure. All of our gold in the Previsto central high grade zone is outcropping. So those channels that we are reporting, that is all outcropping. We know that that rock is sitting in situ in its place where it's always existed. So that's what's remarkable about this is we have our max grade previously reported as 33 grams per ton. So ounce gold just sticking out of the ground. So we know firstly that it is outcropping there. And also, we've done some analysis on the hyperspectral data, so looking at certain wavelength responses of different minerals. And it tells us that we are quite likely to be at the top of a vertically extensive system. So the certain types of minerals we see tell us that we're at the apex of the system. And while we haven't got a drill hole on the project yet, we look at those analogues around the world and we can see that these alkaline epithermal gold systems can extend for 500 to 1,000 meters depth. So in my opinion, that depth potential is really remarkable.
Wow, that's huge. So you've not only got a huge footprint in terms of looking down on the ground, so you've said it's 13 kilometers by 5 kilometers. Because last time it was 5 by 5, so is it 5 by 13 now? What we're looking at here, or that's huge.
Yeah, so that extra strike length, the going from 5 to 13, it's still just early stage in the prospective, but yeah, the potential is absolutely up to 13. But the 5 by 5 is the footprint of gold in soils and geophysics. That northern extension is supported by geophysics as well and some anomalous soils and stream sediment data. At the moment, it's prospective, but I think that potential there is definitely positive. Yeah.
Fantastic. So we've got it all moving now. You've mentioned that you've already got the team looking for more. They're heading back out. What's the time frame of that? Because obviously we're not sitting idle. We were only talking to you recently, and you had another set of results, and you've got another set of results. It's the same at Southern Cross. You guys just keep delivering, 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 and we're seeing the same focus here with you and your team now. What's happening over the next 12 months that we can look forward to in terms of news flow that can really add value to what investors are looking for and de-risk the investment so it starts that upward trajectory, which as an investor, I'm certainly looking for. And I'm comfortable at the moment. I just want to say where this can actually go in terms of news flow.
Of course, yeah. So we have 6 geologists on the ground, so boots on the ground, grassroots stuff out there mapping, sampling, and taking lots of samples. Those 6 geos are working around the clock, so I've got them out there about 14 days of every 30 days. So 2 weeks out of every month, we're working in the field, and that's why we're able to have that constant news flow, which is so important, and constantly expanding the system and mineralization, expanding the understanding. Next steps over the next 6 to 12 months. Within the next month, we're aiming to submit our application for the environmental instrument. That's the environmental instrument required to get the drill permit. Once we submit that, we know that it's about a 6+ month process to turn around that. So it takes us to about Q1 or Q2 of next year, where we'll have all the approvals and be able to mobilise a drill rig to Previsto. In the meantime, and it was mentioned in our news release today, we are looking at different areas where we have potentially are the high-grade gold projects to work on, not necessarily within Peru. So please watch this space for more news on that.
I'll tell you one thing. I've known Mike for quite some time, and he spun Southern Cross out of Mawson. And you've got to think Mawson is a multi-ounce discovery, which attracted us to him in the first place in Finland, of all places. He then did some drilling in Sunday Creek, and look at what he found here. So then that spun out Southern Cross. So I'm very keen to see what you're looking at, what you're doing. And it is good to know because if those drill targets you're looking at 6 months away, at least the work you'll be doing in the next 6 months to get those targets, you'll have very good data as where to drill. But there's other stuff happening in that period. So not only will you have more soil samples, trenching, firming up where to drill, what to do in the future, and it's looking bigger and bigger all the time. You're saying there'll be another project coming into it potentially that can add a lot of news flow to the business as well.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And let me also state that Previsto and Peru remains our priority and our focus, and we are not defocusing from Previsto at all. So it's just a thinking about a strategy of making the best use of our time and funds in a good market while we're waiting for 6 months or so for a drill permit. So Previsto, the work will absolutely continue, and we are very much looking forward to getting the rig on the ground next year. We're just thinking about opportunities out there, and like you say, Mike Hudson is well experienced in that realm, and he's done it with Mawson and Southern Cross to a massive success. So let's see what can happen.
I think from watching the slight delay that we've seen with these permits, the company not sitting idle, the directors not being lifestyle directors, actually working out how to maximise value for shareholders, not being the long period between sets in terms of news flow. It's very, very comforting. I mean, because I've put a lot of money into this personally as well. And it's lovely to hear as an investor that you're not just sitting there passive. Things are happening, things are moving forward. And whilst you're waiting on that, you've got the company and the resources pushing in another direction to add value to shareholders. So I'll be very excited to see the announcements and the updates for that. Are we talking a long time away for potential big news flow there as well?
No, not long at all. Very much near term. So yeah, keep an eye out.
Well, Zach, we'll be seeing you on the 17th down in Melbourne. So looking forward to catching up. You'll be coming to our event where we've got our Gross Summit Cross EQR presenting. So if any shareholders want to have a chat with Zach and get an update of how it is out in the trenches in the fields. And just a quick question, how do you take all the soil samples back? Are you carrying them around with your porters for 2 weeks, or do you have a car that comes and picks them up, or how does it work?
They're all carried in and out by hand. Like you can see the steepness of the terrain there, and yeah, all the soil and rock samples are carried out by hand. Got an amazing team of local porters. Yeah, so hiring a local workforce. We on average use about 12 of the local guys for a team of 4 or 5 geos. And yeah, those guys work very hard, and we wouldn't be able to do the work without them.
I also hear, Zach, I've got authority that you're a bit of a marathon man. So I guess that helps as well.
Yes, yeah, I'm still recovering from my run the other week in Lima, but yeah, I don't have the fitness level that these guys do, and I'm like I feel like a baby giraffe walking around, stumbling over myself, where they are just so sure-footed with a backpack full of rocks. It's amazing.
Fantastic. Well, listen, it looks like you've got a lot going on, Zach, and that's what we like to see. Directors and CEOs who are committed, working hard, getting stuff done. This huge results that they're not lost on me what this means for Previsto, how big this can be. It is elephant country. We are talking multi millions of ounces, which it seems unbelievable. But we're looking at millions at Southern Cross. We've already got an exploration target, a couple of million there, and this is looking a lot bigger, albeit in a much different type of system.
Mm.
But it's got all the hallmarks of a big bertha there. So I really thank you, Zach, for your time. Thank you to your team. I know it wouldn't be the easiest work, but I don't think it'd be too horrible trekking around the jungle looking for gold. I think it'd be really cool. So thank you very much, Zach, and look forward to hearing more updates and seeing you in about 2 weeks' time.
My pleasure, and thank you, Sean. Nice talking to you as always, and yeah, looking forward to catching up in person next time.